Wildlings. I wanted to come on this morning because I'm full on in the Tizm. Um, I have like 3, 4 days a month where my PMDD hits, my estrogen drops, and I get really, really grumpy. And because of perimenopause, there's all these added things that just make it really hard for me to be in this state. So for those 4 days, like I'm doing some prep work today because I've realized today is the first day that I'm going to be in that kind of place. And really what it is like a monthly skills regression that you kind of have to come to terms with as somebody with autism or ADHD that is going through perimenopause. And depending on like who you are and what your um main significant traits are is going to really define how you're impacted by your PMDD and your autism. So I am an extreme case. So I kind of want to say that every single time that I say any of these things, my body is always insanely affected by things. So like every single time I go to the doctors and I say, well, what are the side effects? And they go, oh, don't worry, you're never going to have any of these side effects. I will get every single one of those side effects. So I have to be very explicit in what I need from a doctor, and that doesn't always go well. So I have also had to learn how to navigate the medical system in a way that made my life so much easier. Um, and now I want to be able to share that with other people. I also want to be able to share with other people, like you are literally going to have days where you just can't do anything. And you have to, I don't want to say resign yourself to the fact that, like, yes, there are things you can do to help yourself through, to navigate through those things. But our intention is not to optimize these tools. Like, that's one of the things that I want to tell you. Like, I realized that I'm headed into that phase because my body always has a massive histamine reaction, which means my nose is going to like drip like crazy. But if I take my maximum strength acid reducer, because it has an antihistamine in it, it works like magic. And if I remember to take this, I don't have any of those. Like my nose won't drip and I won't have this hoarse, dry voice that I have right now because this is all histamine stuff. And one of the things that you are going to realize is a lot of the symptoms that you're having in perimenopause are connected to your histamine. And when you start to understand that eating sugar in this part of life is not for you, you will also become much happier in your body. And I do love myself a good sugar dive every once in a while. So I am not saying stop doing that because I just did it last weekend when I went away. But I know what the repercussions are going to be. I know that then that means that the 2 days that I need for recovery are going to be a solid 2 days. And it's going to be more of a physical thing. Why is my little thing flashing at me? Anywho. Monday, May 11th. Why is that important? I don't know, but the date keeps flashing. Like it's doing it again. Okay. Anywho, I've never seen that ever happen before. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I have an appointment right now. That wouldn't surprise me. Because also I'm in the Tizm, and this is the part that I really want to say. You're not failing because you are feeling this, that you are being overtaken by your traits. You're not failing. Your body is just doing something different than and you haven't experienced it before, and this is like literally your uterus dying inside of you and your hormones shifting, and you have to get used to that different way of being in your body, because this thing that produced these hormones for so long is no longer producing them. So you can either replace them with some sort of HRT, which I do use a very little amount of, like a laughable little amount of, because I decided to go the route of listening to my body and just letting it kind of do this ebb and flow thing. When I did try to medicate myself heavily for all of these things, it had consequences afterwards. So that is why I think embodiment for people, in that hormonal stage of life is really important. Learning how to hydrate yourself with these lovely little electrolyte packs. And honestly, it doesn't matter. I've tried them all. Yes, these are the super cheap ones that you can get at the grocery store for 10 for $3. And then these are the super expensive ones. I do see a difference, but like if you don't have a lot of money, this works. It's not going to do, like, this one has peptides in it, and like I can tell when I take these because my brain goes, ooh, I like this. It's an experiment. It's why all women of a certain age become kind of witchy, because we're trying to find this combination of things that helps us just live a regular life. And for people with autism or ADHD, we get like, you have to hang on to the handlebars for dear life. Like, it really does affect our lives in such a significant way. And I raw dogged it. Like, everybody that is starting to go through it now at least has this wave of people before you that like hit it like cement to forehead. Like, oh, it was so painful. It's been so painful, and it can still be really painful if I'm not paying attention to all of these things. Yes, Odie, I know we need to go out, and I told you Odie's my dog, if you don't know. He's lovely, but he's very demanding. I'm learning how to communicate again through my dog, Odie, because if I literally tell him the things, he stops doing it. Like, it's weird. Like, I've had dogs that you say stop, but then they like push the boundaries a little. No, he just stops if you actually talk to him. Weird, right? Um, so I've learned a lot from this 2-year-old dog that I don't even think he's two, actually. Are you? No, I think you're a year and something. Anywho, I'm in the Tizm. I go off track. And I don't hold myself to the fire like I used to about that. It's okay if I post one of these videos that's super rambly every once in a while. So then you can see too that you're allowed to have days where you cannot focus because you are having a skills regression, and it's okay. There are days like I'm a cannabis smoker. I use it for my CPTSD and also for my nervous system regulation. I don't smoke a lot, but I smoke it consciously. But when I started to have a really hard time rolling, because the time that I actually need weed the most is in those days where my motor skills are really horrible. Like, it's laughable horrible. Like, you'll watch me trying to, and you're like, Emma, just pick up the damn pencil. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to, man, but it's like not working. And it used to really stress me out, and it used to really worry me. And then I started tracking. Oh yeah, this is a monthly thing. Oh, this is what happens when and then I'm not so frightened of it anymore. I know it's connected to Emma. Just puts a little more estrogen on, man. You'll be fine. It's fine. And get cones. It's more accessible. It's easier. And then I don't have to like constantly laugh at myself trying to roll joints, but also getting more and more angry as I'm trying to roll those joints because it's my PMDD days and I can't roll. And my brain is just going, "Da-da-da." This is an accommodation. Learn how to accommodate yourself in the ways that you need to be accommodated. Like, just sit back and look at your life and go, Well, where could my life be easier? Like, is my nose running 24/7 and me being embarrassed because I can never find something, and then I go like this and then I'm like, oh my God, I just used my sweater because my processor doesn't work because I couldn't put it together to just go over there and get some clean. Like, my brain can't do that. And it's like I've turned into it. My kid actually calls this my toddler days. I dress like a toddler. I like want to just like be on the couch under comfy blankets, and I want to eat really simple foods. And it's okay to acknowledge that you're going to have those days. Like, it's okay to be this way a couple days out of the month, if then, because trying to force yourself to be normal within those days is, sure, if you have to work a 9 to 5 job, just bring your headphones, make sure that you're eating properly, make sure that you're hydrating, make sure that, if you haven't realized, our brains don't make melatonin. So like, you need to take 10 times more melatonin than everybody else. You might have said to yourself, oh, it doesn't work for me. No, it's just because we don't actually have any melatonin in our brains, because we don't like make it the same way, or we're using that chemical for something else because our body went, oh, this is more fucking important right now. And we're like, no, I would really like to sleep. I have to take more than the average bear because I'm autistic. So, like, people usually are like, oh, I don't want to take too much. No, our brains don't actually make it. So, it's okay to put it in your brain because there's not any there anyway. So, you could probably, and I am not a doctor, you have to do this. And I always say, people, my little thing is go slowly. Talk to people about what you're doing. I talk to somebody who is a neurobiologist that I trust. I don't make any of these decisions lightly. I am autistic. I research shit until the ends of the earth. I have talked to my allergist about what would this do to my body if I took it every single day during my PMD, and he's like, that's actually genius. I never thought of doing that. And I'm like, well, it fucking works. You should maybe try it with your, and he goes, I will. I have had all of these conversations with doctors and scientists, and I would never, like, that is one thing that I will always say. And it's why I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of teaching all of this stuff, because I truly think you need to be educated about this stuff before you like start saying, hey, do this thing. So I have tried this for 5 years before. I've asked 10 doctors 40 questions about this and what they think. And I'm the autistic person that has a conversation with their pharmacist about GABA and how to try to increase that in your system. And he just like, he gets excited when I come. He's like, oh, it's Emma. We're going to have great conversations today. Um, don't beat yourself up about using that stuff. Like, especially if you're late diagnosed. We didn't have access to any of this when we were kids, when we were teenagers, when we were, you know, young adults. And then when we became adults, we did not use any of this. So allow yourself to use the things that are actually going to help you. Like, I fight this stuff all the time. Like, and it's so hard to overcome, especially when I'm in the Tizm, when I'm in the PMDD, when I'm in that place of not knowing who I am for 2 weeks out of the month, really. It really sucks. I don't enjoy it. My family does not enjoy it. But I try my best to balance everything so we can have a fairly normal life, and that I'm not running off into the woods and looking for ancient symbols on stones, because I truly went into the Tizm. And it's like, I am actually going to go do that stuff, but I can go slowly. I don't have to jump on every single kind of like thread. And that's what my autistic brain used to tell me to do. And I would follow every single thread, and it was so bloody exhausting. So now that I've learned how the chaos of my brain works and what the cycle and the pattern is, I can actually use these 4 days as a way to recharge myself, as a way to reinstill, Emma, your cannabis is your medicine. Emma, it's okay to take melatonin to sleep. Emma, you need to have 4 of these a day to feel hydrated and not feel like you're dying because your fascia is so fucking dry because you have no collagen in your body right now because you're in perimenopause and your body just stops making it. So you have to put it in your body. And then also protein, your proteins are being devastated and your bones are being devastated. So we have to do these things to keep ourselves safe, to keep ourselves strong. So then when our children go through this, we're just there to like ride them through the waves, man, because that information didn't come for us. We didn't get that information. So we've got to gather that information and give it to each other. And I think that is what this stage of life is for most perimenopausal, menopausal women is we're going through this stage of gathering the wisdom for our children, for our friends, like one of the things my friends are so grateful for, my little group, is I went through all of this before them. So they're still in that like stage of like, I got no energy and I'm being, my candle's being burnt at both ends and you think you can do it all, but you really can't. Because we were told by men we could do it all, but they don't do it all. Do you know that they don't do it all? But then told us that we should do it all. Yeah, that's another like eye opener that I used to tell my circles all the time. I should really talk about this stuff again. Anywho, this is a Tizm. This is me on a Tizm day. I am going to take my dogs out for a little poodle in the sun because also vitamin D is really important. And I haven't had any of that yet today. So I'm going to make a hydration drink. I'm going to take my antihistamine and I am going to go sit out in the sun with my dogs and think about all of this stuff and process it. I've been drawing, which has been so great because this time of the month in my cycle, I just need to get some of this information out so it doesn't stick in my head, so it doesn't stay in there, so I don't get overwhelmed by it. For me, I call that pruning the tree. So I wanted to share some of that process with you today. I, every month, have to remind of myself of these things again. And I'm actually in the process of creating my own user manual, my own codex to help me through this time. And then I can, instead of having to go through this, really, it does drain my brain every month to have these ahas again. Like, oh yeah, right, I can do this instead of just like having a book that has a picture of this that goes, I'm gonna drink 4 of these today. And I go, oh yeah. And then I don't even have to think about it. I don't have to remember. So that's what I'm in the process of doing right now is creating this little book for myself to remind myself every month. So then I maybe have a little extra brain power today because I didn't spend all day stressing about why I don't have the capacity. I know why I don't have the capacity because my hormones plummeted and I didn't give myself enough buildup. I didn't hydrate myself enough. Like 2 days ago, I wasn't drinking at all. And it's so stupid. Raise your hand if you will sit there and know that you are becoming dehydrated by not drinking water and you know what you're doing. You're like, just go and get more water and you can't get yourself to do it. And then what I do is I ask everybody else to go get me water. And then when they fail to get me water or they just forget about it, I will like have somebody to blame. Like, cause we always need the victim, right? I'm really good. And when I know that cycle now. I know that's my pattern. I know that I want to turn somebody, because everybody does it. I know everybody wants me to be the villain in something because I'm enjoying my life. So if I'm enjoying my life, even when it's shitty, and I'm smiling and I'm like creating, like it was kind of like with COVID when we did the Sears circle, and I'm like, yeah, man, like this, I'm kind of like really enjoy. People got mad at me, which now I think about it is insane. But yeah, I am learning to see my own cycles and my own patterns and learning to find the wisdom in them and truly deeply learning the wisdom and not just going like, oh yeah, I know I need to hydrate. No, actually, like, oh yeah, recognize it's that time, hydrate myself, and then I don't have the crash. Like, I can get to a place, and I have done it when I am really on, when I'm really paying attention. I can kind of just keep this really happy flow, but I've been busy the last couple of weeks and I haven't been doing the things that I know I need to be doing. Spring is happening, so we're outside more and my schedule has shifted, which is like good because I'm outside more, but I've forgotten to do my hydration. I've forgotten to take my meds. I've forgotten to do the things. So it has reinstilled in me that I do have to create my user manual and my codex. So then this time of the month on the 11th, maybe that's why the time keeps flashing. It hasn't changed. Has it changed? Okay. These things. I get these like little like woo, it's flashing. I've never seen the time on my iPad flash. And it's Monday, May 11th. Is that something significant? I'm sure it is. I never know. Um, but anywho, I want to show you this because we all have these days. We all have these feelings. We all know what we need to do. We just have to let ourselves make those mistakes. We have to let ourselves be like, oh, yeah, I did it again. I did it again. My dogs are, it's their playtime. Anywho, I'm going to get going because I need my hydration drink and I need my antihistamine and I need to get out in the sun with my vitamin D. So I encourage you to do the same today. Some simple steps. Nothing major. You don't need to rush out there. You just need to like maybe sit outside your office instead of sitting inside your office. Or maybe you should walk to get that lunch order instead of having it sent to your office. You know, just little things, man. That's go slowly. You're exactly where you need to be. Just go be wild, go be free, go live divergently. It's the only way to be. Bye for now, wildlings.